yard.
This week I made 3 cozy homemade dinners that my family absolutely devoured. We had creamy smoked sausage cheddar pasta, homemade Swedish meatballs with mashed potatoes, and a delicious baked chicken with scratch-made chicken rice-a-roni. These dinners were absolutely delicious. We had plenty of leftovers and nobody complained. So let's get to cooking.
Tonight we're gonna do something different.
This first dinner is the smoked sausage cheddar pasta, and you guys, this was absolutely delicious and so simple. It hits that comfy, cozy spot with kind of like a mac and cheese type of feel, but adding in a delicious smoked sausage, and then healthy because, you know, we added broccoli to it. That makes it healthy, right? We also added up some onions. I did want to go ahead and prep everything while the pasta was boiling. You want to boil your pasta to al dente. The box will tell you how long to boil it for. And then, like I said, while I'm letting that pasta boil and get ready, I'm just cutting up all the onions and the sausage. We're going to go ahead and put this sausage in that hot pan after the bow tie pasta gets done cooking, so it can get a nice sear to it and get that nice brown, crispy goldenness. It really helps bring out the flavor when you cook it like that. So it's super simple meal, dinner. What am I trying to say? I don't even know, y'all. This food, though, was absolutely, it was so good. I should not have probably doubled the recipe. So a little tip from Tammy, a lot of times I'll double recipes. You guys will see that around here. And that way we have leftovers for like the next day, or I'll make all my meals and then a few days later we'll be able to eat leftovers. So it's kind of not repetitive, but we have enough. But I'm going to tell you what, the original recipe of this, like just using it singly, would have been plenty enough food to have leftovers, because we actually ended up having leftovers for like 2 days of this pasta. But you know what? It was so good. The leftovers were almost better than the first day. Once all that heavenly sauce and flavors soaked into that pasta, you know how pasta absorbs flavors, you guys. It absorbed all those beautiful, delicious flavors, and it was so good. So honestly, it was amazing that first day, but even better the next.
I know how to make. You will make something more delicious. A sweet potato pie on a flimsy paper plate.
So we're going to just let these onions get nice and translucent and cook down. I did add some garlic, some minced garlic. Don't come for me for my garlic, y'all. It is so much easier than cutting up regular bulbs of garlic. Do what you want. It's up to you. But then I did add in some butter. I let the butter melt before adding some flour and making a roux. You want to let the flour cook a little bit down and let that flour flavor kind of cook out of there and absorb the onion and garlicky flavors. Because you don't want your dinner tasting like flour. You know what I mean? So we let the flavors marinate before adding in our heavy whipping cream and milk. And then I'm going to go ahead and season now while it's still liquid. And then we're going to go ahead and let this cook up and get nice and thick, and before adding in our cheese.
It's much better. There isn't much to keep. We lay down and fall asleep till the morning comes around to find love.
Once that sauce, roux, milk gets nice and thick, basically you want it to coat the back of a spoon. That's kind of the thickness you're looking for. You can go ahead and add in your cheddar. Now you can use different cheese of your liking, Gouda, mozzarella, whatever you like, whatever your heart desires. I like the cheddar. I feel like it gives a nice bite to the dish, especially if you use sharp cheddar. And then Again, you want to shred it yourself. It melts easier. Or if you have a bag of shredded lettuce, oh my goodness gracious, shredded cheese, you can use that as well. I did. It melted down just fine. Now I'm going to go ahead and start adding everything back in while folding it all together. You want to be careful so you don't break up your pasta, but cooking it to al dente should make it so it's still pretty firm and not break apart on you. So a little tip from Tammy: when you're all done, sprinkle a little bit of pepper flake on there or a little bit of Parmesan. Chef's kiss. I wish I would have added those extra little flavors. I think they would have made this dish even better than it already was.
The ones that stick around are the most bittersweet. I know it's getting late. The night is full of such mistakes.
So I was super nervous making this next one. I have never made homemade meatballs from scratch, you guys, before. I can make the gravies and all that. I've done that plenty of times, but I've never actually made the meatballs. And you guys, I'm kicking myself because I don't know why I never have. They were so easy. Quite literally the worst part. If you guys know how much I loathe making meatloaf. I absolutely love meatloaf, but I hate making it because I hate mixing it. And you guys, one of you guys, you all, I love you guys because you guys always leave me tips and tricks in the comments, and I absolutely appreciate them so much. I wish I had seen this trick recommended to me before I made these meatballs. However, I did not. So your girl's using your hands again. But if you guys have a stand mixer, use your stand mixer to mix your meat and your ingredients. Who would have thunk it? I had no idea. How brilliant of an idea is that? So thank you. You know who you are, who suggested that. I truly appreciate that, because from here on out, I'm going to try that. I bought my stand mixer. I actually got one for my birthday. I don't even remember how many years ago. My stepmom got it for me for my birthday, and it was a pink one. And it actually, I don't know. It was one of the smaller, like the artesian, I guess, ones. And I was doing a lot more baking and stuff like that back then. And so I wanted the upgraded professional series one. And that Black Friday, they just happened to be on sale. I just happened to have a gift card that I had earned. And so I went ahead and upgraded my stand mixer. And now, you guys, she sits on my counter full of utensils. Like, I hardly ever use her, and I don't know why. I really need to utilize her more often. But anyway, these meatballs were so easy. And I'm going to tell you what, you're going to see me put them in on the stovetop. Don't do that. That was so hard to make sure that these meatballs got cooked. And my first batch got so burnt. Thankfully, the gravy was absolutely delicious, and it ended up working out. You couldn't even taste that they were really that burnt, so it was okay. But I did put half the batch in the oven, and that is the way to go. It cooked the meatballs perfectly. I forget what temperature I cooked them at. Oh shoot. I think it was like 350 or so for like 20 minutes. It didn't take very long at all. And like I said, it cooked them perfectly. And I do use a meat thermometer. That one thing has been my saving grace and money well spent for everything. I use it for my chicken, for my meatloaf, for my meatballs, like everything. So if you don't have a meat thermometer, definitely get you one, because they will make your life so much easier. But anyway, these meatballs were so good, and I was actually really surprised about putting in that allspice. I wasn't sure about it, but it turned out perfect. It gave that just like perfect note of just warmth and I don't even know, like it just was so good in the Swedish meatballs though. So definitely try these. You guys are gonna have to let me know if you guys are liking these dinner ideas, these dinner videos. I really am loving creating them for you. It actually really helps me step outside of my comfort zone for dinners. It gives, because I'm coming up with more ideas than just sticking with the same old that we kind of rut that we were getting stuck into. So also, don't make fun of my whisk here, you guys. One of the rims on the whisk was breaking. The silicone was breaking apart from it. And so I just folded it up because I don't know where all my whisks are going, but yeah, I didn't have another one. So not another one that you can use on the nonstick pans, which we're working on getting away from the nonstick pans. You guys will have to let me know what your favorite pans are if you guys have nonstick pan or non-stick pans. You know what I mean? I am very much wanting like a stainless, or I've been loving my cast iron ones, but they're just not big enough. So I'm wondering if even like my Dutch oven, I do really love it. So I'm wondering if I could just get more of those. I don't know. I'm very much new in this world of just trying to do better for my family. Especially even when it comes to like my cooking utensils and stuff like that. So anyway, back to the gravy here. We're just making a roux just like we did with the sausage pasta. You make your roux with just butter and flour, letting that flour absorb that buttery flavor, adding your beef broth, your heavy cream, and then letting that kind of combine a little bit, and then getting a little bit thicker. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some Worcestershire sauce in there, Dijon mustard, and some salt and pepper. So I am I really hope you guys try this recipe. I will make sure that I leave all the recipes, a link for all the recipes down in the description for you. I have been making recipe cards and I do post them over on Pinterest, so I've been super excited and having fun with that as well. But anyway, now that the sauce is nice and thickened, ready to go, we're going to put our meatballs back in the sauce so it can absorb the flavors, warm those meatballs back up before we serve it. And I did serve this over just some mashed potatoes and a side of peas and carrots. We went super simple since the meatballs were a little bit extra.
I wanna talk to me. Card table outside, still sitting there. It's been so long, Billy holds together.
You guys will have to let me know if you try this one. Again, this was so delicious. And we actually ended up using pasta, the egg noodles for leftovers because the mashed potatoes didn't make it to the next day. But we had plenty of meatballs because your girl doubled it. And so, yeah, so definitely try it with some pasta if you don't prefer the mashed potatoes. You guys will have to let me know what you think of that recipe, though. It was so good, and my mouth is literally salivating just thinking about it. But anyway, next up, we're going to do some baked chicken. Of course, you know, I have to clean the heck out of this chicken breast. I did order some different chicken breast this time for my grocery order, and I'm hoping that it has less of the fat and the yucky bits on the chicken breast. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. I'll have to let you guys know, and I'll update you in another video or a post. I do a lot of community posts too. I don't know if you guys are seeing that. I like to put polls over there. I think they're just super fun. And it kind of helps me to get not only engagement, but like, you know, learn about you guys, which I love doing that too. I love learning about you guys. You guys are my friends here. And I absolutely love you. More like family, honestly. You guys have really just become a lot like family to me. So I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you that show up every video and watch it, comment, like, share, hype, all the things. You guys, I truly appreciate each and every one of you. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and butterfly these chicken breasts. It just helps thin it out so it cooks a little bit faster. I think these cooked in like 15 minutes. It wasn't long at all. And you want to cook chicken a little bit higher because you want that outside to get done before the inside, so a lot of those flavors will stay within the chicken so your chicken breasts don't get dried out. So also, that first seasoning I ran out of, so I did just go ahead and pull out this jalapeno one, and I'm going to tell you what, that jalapeno seasoning is delicious. I do not even remember where I bought it at, but it is so good. I found it in the back of the pantry because I was kind of panicking that I ran out of the other one. So good, you guys. But anyway, now we're moving on to the easy part, or actually it's not It's easy, but it was so delicious. You guys, I've been using Rice-a-Roni for forever, but I've been trying to find ways to get away from processed powders and foods and stuff like that. And this chicken rice-a-roni recipe is it. It was so delicious. I did double this recipe, and I will say that with my chicken breast and this rice, and then I just served it with some broccoli. I actually got 3 meal prep meals out of it, so it was super good and super easy. But another tip from Tammy, when you are mixing up your broth or any seasonings or anything, mix that in with your water before you add it to your dish. It'll make it much easier to break up those powders in that liquid. So, but anyway, the first cup you saw me pour in there was just some vermicelli noodles. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm sorry if that's not correct. And then I did just add some jasmine rice. We're using chicken bouillon into the water. And we did get those noodles and rice nice and toasted until they were fragrant before adding the liquid though. So definitely that's a very important step. Just like the rice-a-roni, we're kind of following along in the footsteps of that. But you guys, this turned out so much better than rice-a-roni. You guys, my husband was calling it what did he say? Fraser-a-roni? I forget what he was saying. Oh my gosh. It was so funny though. I don't even remember. I can't remember. I think it was Tammy Rice-a-Roni. Oh, was it Rice-a-Roni and Tammy treat or something? I don't remember. It was so funny though. I wish I could remember to tell you. But anyway, guys, we're just going to go ahead and plate this up now with your chicken breast. Make sure you cook it to 165 degrees. Or, little tip from Tammy again, to make sure it's not dried out, cook it to 165. Let it rest for a good 10 minutes. Well, not 10 minutes, like 5 minutes, and it'll come to temperature. But anyway, you guys, I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I hope it's giving you some ideas for your own dinners. And yeah, make sure you subscribe. I hope everyone is staying happy, healthy, and safe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.